Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating, but once you hear the things this 911 dispatcher told the lady who called, Miss Stevens who called, you'll be like, something is wrong with her in her soul, right, as a human being. So authorities in Arkansas are investigating after a now former 911 dispatcher scolded a frantic newspaper delivery woman for driving into flooded waters before she drowned. This all happened August 24th, so a week ago or so. So there were some massive floods. Again, in the edited version of Nursing News, I promise I'm gonna try to get better with putting like pictures and stuff during my live, but I'm not there yet. Give me a break, all right? Give me a break. Anyways. So it was massive floods in Arkansas about a week ago, right? Miss Stevens is the paper delivery woman's name who drowned. So Miss Stevens was delivering newspapers that day, doing her goddamn job during these massive floods. So already tip your hat off to this lady who's going out in this horrible weather to finish and do her job, right? Right off the bat, respect to the lady, respect the lady. She was delivering papers that day, so she sees the floods. She's like, you know what, let me take a break, let me park and wait for this flooding to at least simmer down, or at least I'll turn around if it doesn't get better. She tries to park into an apartment complex parking lot, but that's when the floodwaters swept away her car. And that's when she calls 911, right? And then police and firefighters, as soon as she calls 911, obviously the dispatcher does her job. She gets people to respond. She says, where are you? We're going to send people over, right? Police and firefighters respond to the scene about 12 minutes after Stevens' call, right? So she calls 12 minutes after. The police and fire department are there. You might think, oh my goodness, she must have been saved. No, the floods were so bad in the specific place in Arkansas. The floods were so bad that it took the police and firefighters over an hour to reach her. So by the time they reached her, she was already gone, right? So that alone is a really, really sad story. But let's talk about what was going on while she was waiting in the car, freaking out as the water was rising in her car. Crazy situation, okay? So I'm gonna just tell you a few of the statements and then we'll go from there. So obviously Miss Stevens is on the phone and she says, please help me, I don't want to die, please help me. She's actually freaking out. And again, I know I'm sorry for those who are watching live, but I love you for watching this live. In the edited version, I will have some of the dispatching voiceover so you guys could actually hear it for yourself.
I'm gonna die. It's all the way up to my windows. I'm gonna die.
But her desperation didn't seem to make any difference to the dispatcher on the other end of the call.
Somebody get me out before I die. I'm sorry.
You're not gonna die. I don't know why you're freaking out.
Like, obviously scared for her life. Please help me, please help me, please help me. I don't want to die. And the 911 dispatcher says, you're not going to die. Hold on for a minute. She continues by saying, well, I'm scared, I'm sorry. The dispatcher says, I understand that you're scared, but there's nothing I can do for you sitting in this chair, so you're going to have to hold on. And I'm reading that like with a little bit of attitude, but I'm not an actor here, right? I'm a nurse. It's not my job to act. When you hear the way she was saying that, the tone in which she was saying that, speaking to someone who was literally afraid of her life, you ask yourself, I understand hindsight is 2020 and she doesn't know how bad it is, but listen to what the lady's saying. The water is flooding in the car. I can't get out of the... Okay, all right? But the worst part, I'll tell you the worst part.
I'm scared. I've never had anything like this happen to me before.
Well, this will teach you next time. Don't drive in the water.
Couldn't see it, ma'am. I'm sorry, or I wouldn't have.
I don't see how you didn't see it. You had to go right over it, so...
The dispatcher continues on by saying, this will teach you next time not to drive into the water, right? And this is a lady who's about to die. We know she's about to die, but this is a lady at the brink of her life. She's scared for her life. And after getting told that by the 911 dispatcher, her huge heart decides to apologize to the dispatcher. The 911 dispatcher is not calming down or helping or soothing the situation for the patient, the person, Miss Stevens, who's in the car. Miss Stevens answers by saying, couldn't see it, ma'am. I'm sorry, but I don't want to die. Oh my God. Worst part. The 911 dispatcher doubles down and she says, I don't see how you didn't see it. You had to go right over the water. My heart's broken. I don't know what I can say, what I can do. Whatever the situation, I don't care. I know that these 911 dispatchers might get prank calls, and might deal with my cat's in the thing, or there's a rat in my house. Some silly 911 calls all day, every day. But the attitude and like the heartless, way she was speaking to this lady who was scared for her life. There is no excuse for it. And just like the story before, that 911 dispatcher, that the police department said she's fired, but basically she did not do anything wrong. I don't understand it, bro. I don't understand. Where has how compassion gone if this lady did nothing wrong in that situation? I just don't know. I don't know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate this. If you guys were informed or educated in any way, shape, or form by these stories, please hit that like button. If you liked my presentation of the news, I really suggest you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know every time Q the Nurse drops some hot, fresh press news. Thank you. Catch you next week. Deuces.